For everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Aaron Willis. I'm, of course, Tanya's cousin. I'm an 8th grade science teacher. I'm also the head girls track coach at Clay High School. For me, I'm from South Bend, Indiana. I was just raised by my mom. For the most part, my dad was around sporadically. And sports was my outlet from everything that was going on in my life. Like, the people that I met in sports, some of my best friends, and also the coaches for me were very much father figures. And for sports, for me in general, kept me on track with my grades. For a lot of us right now, the young African-American males and females, a lot of times right now, a lot of people understand that these grades aren't a joke. If you don't got these grades, you're about to be, like, you can't do anything. You really can't do anything. Like, you can barely even get a job working at McDonald's and stuff if you don't got a GED or something. So when it comes to athletics aren't a way just for you to be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I'm good at basketball or I'm good at track. That's all I can do. Well, athletics are an outlet for you to actually express who you are and what you believe in. For a lot of basketball players right now, okay, it's cool to wear arm sleeves and stuff. Is that really the person you are, honestly? And so I know for when it comes to athletes and when they're in their sport, it's more so for them to show, like, you know what, I've been through adversity, and now I want to show that I can actually get out of this adversity and do something that's actually positive for my community. That's the reason why you see us up here now, is because we use athletics as an outlet to show kids like all you right now that you can do something outside of the sport you play. I know for me, I still participate in the sport I did. I did it in college. I ran Division I track and field. Now I had to stop because I messed up my body, but at the same time, I was able to still get a good education. And that's really it. Just like, y'all need to get these grades, stay out of trouble. I mean, if you're in a sport, honestly, you can't get in trouble. Like, you shouldn't want to get in trouble, everything. Stuff happens. But for the most part, if you're in a sport, keep your nose clean, get the grades, and be successful. Like you see everyone in here, everyone's cheering you on in the community. No one's here to put you guys down. We're all here trying to support you. Yeah, I know for some of you, like my cousin Jathan, you're nervous sometimes, but at the same time, she's not doing it because she wants you to do bad. She's doing it because she loves you and she doesn't want to see you ending up in the new, really, honestly, the new plantation, which is penitentiaries. No one wants to see you there, all right? So, that's all I got.
My name is Jeermal Sylvester. I'm originally born and raised in Chicago. I got transplanted to South Bend my sophomore year in high school. And before that, we're here because we're talking about youth violence and physical fitness and how that affects, or how that can kind of keep you out of the way of youth violence or violence in general. I moved to South Bend and I began to play basketball. I grew about 6 inches in one summer, and so basketball became the norm for me. And I'm so thankful for it, because growing up in Chicago, they call it Chirac right now, but it's always been Chirac for anybody that's from Chicago or that has been there. It's always been bad, but with the help of social media, it has the opportunity to be exposed on a much higher level. So I moved to South Bend and I went to high school at Raleigh High School, and I started playing basketball. And the thing that I love about basketball was it was the one thing that I found out that I was good at. And some of you may have something else. It may not be basketball, it may be band, it may be dance, it may be school. But find out what it is that you're good at and then perfect your craft. And so I used to be on the block. And on our block, on the southeast side, there was gangs, there was drug selling, and I hung out in those places for a season. And it wasn't until I transformed my thinking and I went to the basketball court. So the time that I spent on the block, gang banging and selling drugs, I put that time on the basketball court to perfect my craft. And what happened from that was the time that I invested on that basketball court, I ended up being a first-team All-State. I was Indiana All-Star, which out of the state of Indiana, the entire state of Indiana, they only picked 12 players out of the whole state to be a part of this team. And so I was on that team. And what I did was I utilized basketball and used it as a platform to get me away from the violence. I stayed in a